Negros Occidental is one part of the twin provinces of the island of Negros, located in western Visayas, southern Philippines. With a total land area of 7,926 square kilometers, the province occupies the northern and western parts of Negros Island. It is bounded by the Visayan Sea in the north, the Tanyon Strait and Negros Oriental in the east, Guimaras Strait in the northwest, Panay Gulf in the southwest, and the Sulu Sea in the south. Composed of 13 cities and 19 municipalities, Negros Occidental has largely level plains and gently rolling slopes on the northern and western parts. Meanwhile, the remaining portion consists of mountain ranges of varied elevations. The province has two pronounced seasons, the wet and dry season. With these natural and geographical elements combined, the land of Negros Occidental is suited for agriculture, particularly sugar. Hence, the province is known as the Sugar Bowl of the Philippines because it produces more than half of the country's sugar. This volume is the output of 9 operational sugar centrals throughout the province. The other major crops of the province are rice and corn. But through the years, the sugar industry has proven to be unstable. With the plunge in world sugar prices, Negros Occidental has shifted to other ventures such as cut flowers, fish ponds, orchards, high-value vegetables, Darag native chicken, and coffee. Coffee has been proven effective in absorbing harmful gases such as carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide from the atmosphere. Two emissions blamed for global warming and climate changes all over the world. But the most recent agricultural trend in the province was not only spurred by economics, but also by health and environmental concerns. Thus, the organic way of farming is fast becoming a popular byword among the Negrense farmers and consumers. Although some entities and individual farmers have tried the organic way of farming as early as the 1980s, the efforts were not sustainable, and only a few groups continued because at that time, government support was not yet available. Trainings in organic farming were very few and were usually participated in only by farmer groups assisted by non-government organizations.
When we were at the Negros Business Forum Group, which I helped found in 1980, we were already looking at organic farming, but with very little understanding as to what it entails. No? Of course, we've been reading articles, but you didn't know how to get into it.
But it seems that nature has its way of forcing people to take notice of its state. Farmers were forced to find ways to continue working the soil without the adverse effects.
And we started developing this in 1993, right after I retired from the bank. After 5 years in cut flowers, my wife told me that Negros Occidental, according to the World Health Organization, is one of the few places in the world with a very high incidence of cancer. Since this farm is where the water source of Bacolod comes from, we deemed it appropriate that we should make it organic para hindi naman ma-pollute ang water source ng Bacolod.
With the turn of events, vermicomposting was one of the more effective organic farming technologies that were introduced in the province. This was applied on high-value vegetables.
The people that helped us in this was Dr. Rafael Guerrero III and Lina Villegas of the Bureau of Plant Industry in Los Baños. He was the one who made the past studies for the vermicompost, and the results was what we followed in our formulation for the compost.
But it was only in 2005 when Negros Occidental took a more drastic step to turn this island into an organic zone. More farmers, individuals, and NGOs got involved, and the provincial government mobilized a campaign for organic farming under the leadership of the late Governor Joseph Marañon. It was also the same year when a young couple ventured into the large-scale production of organic fertilizer.
Last 2005, the idea started from Tita Pam and Tito Batsoy Henares, and also from my father-in-law. We were partners before. My father-in-law was into machinery, shredder, and then si Tita Pam was starting sa niyang vermicomposting. So,
the late Governor Marañon was inspired with what his granddaughter Francine did. He was also instrumental in pushing for the celebration of the Negros Island Organic Farmers Festival, which was first held in Bacolod City last 2006 and subsequently in Dumaguete City in 2007. Every year thereafter, the festival will be alternately hosted by Negros Occidental and Oriental Negros. Organic farmers, farmers groups, cooperatives, and even companies from all over the island participated in the festival. They put up booths where people can buy their produce and learn more about organic farming. Since the festival primarily aims to disseminate information and train farmers about organic farming, seminars and trainings were also given by experts for free. The Memorandum of Agreement on the vision to make the island of Negros as an organic zone was forged on August 24, 2005 in Tanay City, Oriental Negros. It was signed by Governor Marañon and his counterpart, then Governor George Arnaiz of Oriental Negros, in the presence of Philippine President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. Part of the agreement was to organize the Negros Island Sustainable Agriculture and Rural Development Foundation Incorporated, or NYSARD. NYSARD's chief goal is to fulfill the dream of an organic Negros Island by promoting and supporting sustainable organic agriculture.
The NYSARD conducted a lot of seminars regarding organic products. Organic rice, we are now in organic rice. Organic vegetables, organic poultry, and organic sugar, where we will be inaugurating the first organic sugar mill in the world.
The provincial government is bent on pursuing the progress of organic farming in Negros Occidental. The present governor, Isidro P. Saico, assures farmers of the full support of his administration to organic farming.
Negros Occidental supports sustainable agriculture and rural development ways toward making Negros Island the organic food bowl of Asia. We work hand in hand with Oriental Negros under the leadership of Governor Emilio Macias towards achieving this vision.
Governor Saico continued the legacy of Governor Marañon, working from the late governor's 7-point agenda that prioritizes food security and agricultural productivity. Governor Saico has come up with Hearts Plus.
HEART+ stands for Health, Environment, Agriculture, Roads and Other Infrastructure, Tourism, Trade, Social Services, Personnel and Development, Livelihood Opportunities, Urban and Rural Development, and System and Governance. Agriculture is the priority of this administration. We are strongly supportive of organic farming.
There is now a call for every farmer in the province to go into organic farming. This method is not new, as this is patterned in the way that nature takes care of itself, and it only brings all kinds of advantages to the farmer.
I do not know why we have this perception that anything that is organic is less tasty, less yield. Because my personal experience is the tomatoes we grow organically can stay for 2 months, wala ga kadunot. Kung magkaon ka sang amon organic rice, nga pure organic rice, nga 7th, 8th generation na, hindi ka pagutumon dali-dali. Kaya it's more nutritious. And these are backed up by studies abroad, studying the nutrient quality of vegetables grown organically and not organically.
Those who are able to produce their own organic fertilizer can make use of available biodegradable materials.
Sakto na no nga subong nagasugod kita sang aton ecological solid waste management nga ang aton nga mga basura himuon naton ina sang abono no. Kaga ikadua eksakto ina no nga ini sila nga duha maga-updanay ang aton nga solid waste and also ang aton man nga agrikultura.
Organic farming is sustainable. Okay. Sorry to say that with the price of oil now, the price of fertilizers are going to go up. So how can that be sustainable? One day we are being told that oil is going to disappear. So where will we get our chemical fertilizers from?
There are farmers who are wary of going organic and completely weaning out their farms of chemical fertilizers and pesticides. The primary reason is the work involved in producing organic fertilizers. But several farmers have done it already and can attest to going organic completely.
Basically, you let nature teach you. Mga animals o mga crops ang nagsasabi sa iyo kung kulang sila ng nitrogen, kung kulang sila ng phosphorus, potash or calcium, magnesium or any other trace elements. Ibigay mo.
I don't see any disadvantage in nature farming, bio-farming. Wala man yung disadvantage. I just have a lot of things to do. That's why.
Since sugarcane plantations still dominate the agricultural areas of Negros, the concern is now in the supply of organic fertilizers that can supplement the nutritional requirements of this crop and the response of the plants to the new system. But there are planters who dispel these ideas.
Most of the time, what they do is if they don't get a good yield, they'll go back to put a little bit of chemical. But me, even though it don't yield too much, it don't come out too good, I still keep on because I believe in continuity. Never give up.
What are the advantages of organic farming?
You become a working farmer. You're not a lazy farmer anymore.
Right now, we're getting about 99% of what we are eating, we're getting it from the farm. And it is characterized by zero waste, it is characterized by zero chemicals, zero pesticides, and zero antibiotics. So that we go for a healthier you. We are able to really say na ang Pilipino hindi dapat magugutom sa sariling bayan. No Filipino should go hungry in his own native land.
Now is the appointed time to combat the different agricultural, health, and environmental problems with organic agriculture.
Subong tilapia kag bangros ang amon produkto. Kag ang amon nga goal nga ma-minimize namon ang feeding bala. Kag mapadamo namon ang kwan, ang lumot. Kag amo na nga amon nga ginhandom nga mahimo. Even before I ventured into the production of our native Tarag chicken, I've always been interested in organic farming. For the native chicken, of course, they are more nutritious and also more beneficial to our sick people because of the presence of the amino acids.
Dapat mangin observant sila sa ila pagpatag sa panguma. Hindi sila mag-rely sa komersyal lang, kundi magamit sila sa mga organic nga isang bayuin, isang iban pa nga mga produkto sang organic nga baligya man di sa aton palibot. Kaya ang organic isa na sa sang aton na sustainable nga pananawan sa uli sa aton panguma nga maka hindi lang sa subong kundi sa sabwas nga palabuto natin.
Ang benepisyo sa organic farming, isa ka pamaagi, makakini ka sa gasto, kahit dira mo lang kuwaon sa higad ang pagpatambok sa tanom. Sa una nakabon ako apat sa ako. Subong isa na lang. Ano matamat ko na sa mag-ensayo sa amon kautlanan nga mangunguma, kinanglan mag-upod sila sa nga mag-organic village para mag-isa kami. Para hindi na papiktuhan sa sakit sa palibot. Hindi na ko magbalik sa chemical. Arin magid ang organic nga wala sing gasto. Magbalik ka pa sa magasto.
To my fellow farmers, hopefully, hindi ka mamadulaan patience and perseverance nga sa organic way of farming. Bisan mabudlay sa dili na tapakadto because we cannot rely on import or on chemicals.
To know more about organic farming, interested farmers are welcome to visit the office of the Provincial Agriculturist of Negros Occidental at the Provincial Administration Center in Bacolod City.
We encourage you to go organic. The office of the Provincial Agriculturist in Video Tabiana is happy to serve you. Organic na Negros.